Alright guys, we got another trade, as this one we've kinda knew Morant would most likely be traded for a long while now, but I didn't expect the Trailblazers would end up being the place Ja would be traded to. Hey man, his trade value was really that low. This is clear, as the package was the Blazers get Ja and the Grizzlies in return get Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray. Starting off with the Blazers side of this trade, while I don't hate this for them, as in order to get Ja they literally gave up nothing of value, as they basically swapped contracts with Ja and Jeremy Grant, as Ja has only 2 years left on his deal, and Jeremy Grant has basically 2 years left on his deal because he has a player option for next offseason for $36 million, which I can tell you right now he's definitely picking up that option. Good lord, I forgot Grant was getting paid over $30 million a year. And the Blazers also gave up Chris Murray, who's nothing more than a back-end rotation kind of player. He only played 5 minutes a game for the Blazers during their first round series against the Spurs this past postseason. The reasons I have my questions about this trade for Portland is Ja's fit on this team. Ja is at his best having the ball in his hands where he can get downhill, put pressure on the rim, and score for himself, or use his rim pressure to then open up his passing and playmaking to then create shots for his teammates. But the problem with that is Dame is at his best when he has the ball in his hands, where he can not only get downhill and put pressure on the rim, but also be on the ball creating shots on the perimeter, whether that be in the pick and roll or in isolation, then leverage the defensive attention he receives to generate shots for his teammates. But to be fair, we don't know what percentage of Dame we will be seeing this upcoming season and going forward, as he's coming back from tearing his Achilles as a small guard that's in his mid-30s. Dame is a good shooter from deep off the catch, so he can play off the ball off Ja, but that brings me to my concerns with Ja's fit on this team. For one, Ja can't do the inverse for Dame. Ja is a bad shooter from deep off the catch, and not to mention he's also a bad shooter from deep on pull-ups, and both Ja and Dame are small guards that are negatives defensively. Also, as I just said earlier, Dame is returning after tearing his Achilles, and he was already a negative defensively, so it's possible he's even worse on this end. So how are Ja and Dame going to work together as a backcourt? And it's already been reported the Blazers envision Dame and Ja starting in the backcourt with Denny on the wing. And not even with just a Ja and Dame backcourt, how does Ja fit alongside Scoot and Shaedon Sharpe in the backcourt? Both Scoot and Sharpe's best offensive skill is getting downhill and putting pressure on the rim, and while both they can create off the bounce some, it's still a question with Scoot and Sharpe if even one of them can step up and be a more high-level shot creator. With that being the case and Ja coming in, you would want the both of them being good shooting off the catch from deep, and while Scoot is an average shooter from deep off the catch the past 2 seasons, Sharpe has fluctuated from below average to above average shooter from deep off the catch, and not to mention both Scoot and Sharpe are negatives defensively. And with Ja's issues as a floor spacer and defensively as well, how does he fit alongside of one of either Scoot or Sharpe in the backcourt? This brings me to Ja's flaws as a player as a whole. We already discussed that Ja is a negative defensively and he's a bad 3-point shooter on pull-ups and off the catch. Ja also has no in-between game he can consistently rely on. So despite being in the NBA for 7 years now, Ja still has no counter to consistently punish when defenders go under his screens or dare him to shoot. Since he doesn't have that consistent in-between game, Ja sometimes has to barrel himself into defenders, leading to him throwing up a wild layup or floater attempt. And his lack of a consistent in-between game and being a bad shooter from deep is why we've seen his play drop off in the postseason, especially in his last 2 playoff appearances. Ja also hasn't played above 50 games in 3 years, which is not only a byproduct of his play style. With how much Ja relies on getting to the rim and flying through the air, that leads to more hard hits and landings, which take a toll on his body. Ja is more prone to getting injured on those kind of plays because he's a small guard with a slim frame. And Ja hasn't played above 50 games in the past few years because of his off-the-court shenanigans as well with his firearm incidents on IG Live. While Ja coming in and Dame returning moves Denny down to a second or third option role and moves Jrue Holiday to the bench and having the 4th most offensive responsibilities on the team. Defensively, there's only so much Jrue Holiday, Tumani Kamara, and Donovan Clingan can cover up for the defensive shortcomings of Ja, Dame, Sharpe, and Scoot. The Blazers this offseason to me needed to add more shooting and shot creation to this roster, and while Ja helps in the shot creation department, he doesn't help in the shooting department at all. Maybe Portland trades Scoot, Sharpe, and some other assets for Jaylen Brown, but if it's true, as Shams reporting, that the Blazers aren't actively pursuing Jaylen Brown and view Ja as their big move, which, are the Blazers sure about that? Because looking at this roster as it stands right right now, it's a confusing roster. Now, for the Grizzlies side of this, it's fine. Considering Ja's trade value was this low, and it was being reported before this trade happened that they might have had to attach draft compensation to trade away Ja, being able to trade him without attaching any draft picks is a win, and you're basically swapping Ja and Jeremy's contracts as we broke down earlier in this video. Even though they're more likely than not stuck with Grant for the rest of his deal, he makes less money than Ja, so they're saving a little bit on cap space. Another good part of this trade is Memphis can fully go into the rebuild without having to deal with Ja's baggage anymore, and since Ja is no longer on the team, he doesn't get in the way of their young guys' development, and Cam Boozer can now fully step in as the new face of the franchise. And he can hopefully change his number from 27 to 12 because my goodness, 27 looks hideous on him. It's a shame that the Ja era, which had a lot of promise from 2021 to 2023, had to end this way, but the NBA moves on fast. For the grades of this trade, I give Portland and Memphis a B grade. I appreciate you watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and hype the video if you have that feature available, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about Ja now being on the Blazers. See y'all in the next one.